Hey guys! So today's video, I'm going to be continuing in the September Suicide Prevention Month theme that I've been doing, and today I'm going to be talking about 6 myths about suicide and what the actual facts are. So let's jump right in and get started. So the first myth is something that I hear a lot, and I also have addressed in one of my previous videos, so I'm just going to go over it again quickly. And this is the myth that talking or asking about suicide will increase the risk of someone going through with suicide. So this is 100% a myth. It's actually been proven that talking about suicide actually will reduce suicidal ideation and reduce the actual suicide attempts. And it increases the likelihood of the person that is suicidal seeking treatment. So it is okay to ask someone if they are considering suicide. It is not going to in any way make the problem worse. The second myth is one that makes me very angry and that I am very passionate about, and that is people who talk about suicide are attention seeking. So there are a lot of problems with this statement. For one, people who have attempted suicide or people who have died by suicide often tell someone about it first. They often talk about their suicidal thoughts, and this isn't being attention seeking because they're actually going through with it. So the numbers just prove that that's wrong. And then a second note is that attention seeking shouldn't have a negative connotation, I think, in this. A lot of people say that these people are attention seeking and they mean it as a bad thing. But the only way to address a problem is to first draw attention to it. So there is nothing wrong with drawing attention to your suicidal thoughts, because that is the way that it's going to be addressed and be treated. Myth number 3 is suicide is selfish, weak, and cowardly. Suicide is the result of immense and very intense emotional pain and often is associated with underlying mental health conditions. So this has nothing to do with the person being selfish or weak or cowardly. It has something to do with the person having an illness, having gone through trauma, having things in their life that just feel really unmanageable. And often people who are suicidal will say that they feel like they're doing other people a favor by killing themselves. So this just kind of proves that they're not being selfish because they're often not thinking of themselves in the situation. They're often thinking about how they affect the other people around them. And just calling someone who's suicidal, selfish, weak, and cowardly is going to do absolutely nothing to help them. So it shouldn't even be said. Number 4 is actions to reduce access to lethal means doesn't help prevent suicide. So this is false. It's actually proven that limiting access to lethal means is one of the simplest ways to reduce suicides, because if a person doesn't have access to the most common um, methods of suicide, it's going to reduce the likelihood that suicide will occur. So actually taking the steps to reduce access to things is a great thing to do and will actually help prevent suicide. Myth number 5 is talk therapy and medications don't work. So this one is just not true. I have been in therapy for a while and it has helped ton. I have taken meds, and while I haven't found the perfect combination of meds to fully help me, I have noticed some changes in my level of suicidal ideation with the different medications that I've tried. And proper professional medical treatment is going to help reduce suicidal ideation, and it's also going to help teach people ways to cope, because a lot of the times, with some people, like myself included, my suicidal thoughts are never going to go away completely. So I am not really looking for therapy or medication to completely get rid of these. I am looking for ways to help cope and deal with them in my life. And therapy is a great way to learn skills and things to help you cope with suicidal ideation. And finally, myth number 6. So this was actually one that has been said to me, and when I have shared this with other people who have similar problems that I do, they have also heard similar things said to them by the professionals that are supposed to be helping them. So this is something that was said to me by a therapist, and that is, if you were actually suicidal, you would have already killed yourself. So to put it in the format that we've been using with the other ones, if someone was really suicidal, then they would already be dead. Um, just not true. Just not true at all. Many people that are suicidal actively seek help for their suicidal ideation, and by seeking help, they shouldn't be seen as less suicidal. That's a problem that I've had a lot because I've gone to hospitals and I've gone to therapists and been like, I have these thoughts and I need help with them. And then the response is kind of like, well, you're not really suicidal because you're looking for help with them. So you don't actually want to kill yourself, which is just kind of backwards to me because why would you like, what? I don't understand the reasoning behind this one, I guess, when people say it, because like you're basically telling someone that if they were really having this problem, then they would already be dead. And then there's no way for them to get help with the problem if that's the case. So it just doesn't make sense. People that actively are seeking help or talking about their suicidal thoughts shouldn't be taken less seriously. They should be taken just as seriously as everybody else because this is a serious issue and they deserve help just as much as everyone else does. So that is it for today's video. Just went through those 6 myths versus facts really quickly. If there's anything that you've heard about suicide that you're wondering, is this a myth? Is this a fact? Or something that you maybe think is a myth and you're not too sure, please feel free to leave those in the comments. I love to read them. I will do my best to answer them. And I can possibly make a part 2 to this video if there are more myths that people want to see addressed. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you.